All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back with more Sam Rockwell month. Kind of didn't go through with all the dancing and the hoopla. It's a little late in the evening and I just kind of wanted to cut to the chase for this one. But tonight we're talking about Sam's role in 2002's Welcome to Collinwood. Now, a lot of people don't know about this movie. I saw it back in the day because I saw everything back in the day. But what people didn't know, and what I didn't know until I looked it up, was that this is the feature-length movie premiere of the Russo brothers, who did Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. They did Community, and this was their feature debut. I did not know this going in. I saw this movie a long time ago. And it's produced by George Clooney and Steven Soderbergh. So I'm like, Soderbergh and Clooney produce it. The Russo brothers direct it. Okay, Clooney has like a kind of a glorified cameo. It's got Sam Rockwell, William H. Macy, Isaiah Washington, Michael Jeter, Patricia Clarkson, Gabrielle Union, Jennifer Esposito, Luis Guzman, and that's a stacked cast. And even in 2002, a lot of these people were working a lot already. And I mean, Sam was just about to be in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. And I mean, none of these people really had to do this movie. Because it's a small little movie. So spoilers if you haven't seen it. But it's just it feels like a play. And it's not like a home run. It is definitely a first-time feature. But with a cast this stacked, it's just kind of hard to not kind of like it anyway. Because this is just kind of an average movie. It's sweet because it says like 5 guys, 1 saved, no brains. And it's based on another story. And what this is just a bunch of guys in this town in Ohio called Collinwood. There's a sign that says it's the Beirut of Cleveland or something like that. It's like I guess it's like some sort of suburb or a ghetto of it or whatever. So anyway, these guys, Luis Guzman goes to jail. He's breaking into a car. He gets caught. And inside the jail, he finds out from this guy that there's this job out there. And now Luis Guzman is trying to get his fiance, Patricia Clarkson, to get somebody to take his place in jail so that they can go out there and do this job that this guy that was a lifer is telling him about. But it's basically how a bunch of guys just kind of all find their way to this job through trying to help the guy get out of jail. They all end up kind of bringing more guys onto the job. So many, in fact, that they really don't even really want to help Luis Guzman get out of jail, because they basically all say he's like the biggest asshole in Collinwood. And so it's just that kind of small movie where a bunch of bums, a bunch of losers are like trying to pull off a score. In the late 90s, mid to late 90s, early 2000s, there was a lot of these movies where just kind of oddball, goofball losers played by pretty famous people were, we're in these kind of movies. There's like the movies with the Coen brothers made with Tom Hanks, the Lady Killers, where there's a bunch of guys trying to rob an old lady. A lot of the Coen brothers stuff is kind of like that. There's just a lot of and then you get the whole Ocean's movies. So there was just a lot of heist movies coming out in this era, including a movie called Heist that we didn't get to talk about for the channel because I couldn't, I thought I had it, and I might still review it. It's a David Mamet movie with Sam Rockwell again. But this movie just has a very unique cast of characters. Michael Jeter, rest in peace. This is one of his last roles. This came out in 2002. He died in 2003. Michael Jeter, if you don't know, that's him right there. He was in The Green Mile. The Fisher King. He's been in a ton of stuff. I think he was in Brazil. I know he was like in 12 Monkeys. Fear and Loathing too, maybe. But he's been a really famous character actor and stage performer for a really long time. And this was one of his last movies, and it's really nice to see him in this. And he was, it was definitely, you could tell that he was maybe sickly. Jennifer Esposito's in this. This was around the time of Spin City. She's always been a good actress, and I kind of wonder why she doesn't get more work. William H. Macy is great in this, as always. He gets to carry around one of the cutest movie babies I've ever seen. Isaiah Washington. Okay, Isaiah Washington, man. He used to be like considered like a really, really well, just a really good actor. If you've never seen movies like Clockers and stuff like that, Isaiah Washington was really up and coming. And in this movie, before he went on Grey's Anatomy and screwed up or whatever he did there, he used to be like considered top talent coming out of Hollywood. And it's really good to see him in this role. It makes me want to go watch Clockers again because of how good he was in that. Who else? And then Sam Rockwell, of course. That's what this month is for. So he plays a guy named Perro who he's wants to be a boxer, but he's not very good. He doesn't really want to do this job, but he kind of gets pulled in because he gets, knocked out pretty much right away. But he's like, now he spends a lot of the movie trying to impress Jennifer Esposito's character. And it's kind of clear throughout this whole thing that, like, while they all need money, their hearts aren't really that in it. And that's the problem, I think, with the movie, is that they're not fully in, and so we're not fully in. The story doesn't really come together in a way that's interesting, to be honest with you. It's just a series of events of silly guys being kind of silly, but nothing really happening. It's just kind of scenes that feel like you're definitely watching a play. Clooney does a little bit here where he's a guy that's like a safecracker. But again, even his performance is underwritten. And I think that's one of the problems with this, is that even though the Russo brothers prove here early on that they can handle a ensemble cast and a big group of people and several plot lines, the writing is something that was kind of weak. The dialogue was kind of weak. There are moments that are funny and things like that, but it's definitely there are other movies they don't write, as far as I know. So maybe they were just kind of seeing what they could do with this, and definitely shows that they needed to hire screenwriters for their work. But other than that, I thought that this movie was really fun and cute. And yeah, it's R-rated, but I mean, and honestly, this could have been a PG. They just would have to take out the swearing. Because even then, it just didn't really feel like the swearing was that necessary to the plot. And I know that I love to fucking swear. But for some reason, it just was like, this is such a kind of a tame movie. Do we really need to have all the swearing in it? But I don't know, maybe they were ad-libs. But it was really cool watching this again after this many years. But again, this might, for a movie like this, with this many good actors in it, this might be like one of those final viewing movies. Because even though I think it's all right, and man, Sam Rockwell's guns in this movie, holy shit. I just feel like it's definitely one of those movies that I don't really need to see again. Except, for maybe watching like things like this. I might watch the behind the scenes thing of this with him and Michael Jeter, because I would love to see more of Michael Jeter from this movie, like the behind the scenes stuff. So I guess that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, if you've never heard of it and you like all these people, go ahead and check it out. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes long. So you're not going to be hurting for time at all. But yeah, it needed a better script. The directing is competent. The acting is competent. You can definitely tell that this was made on a shoestring budget, and it does feel like a play. And yeah, I mean, that's it. And it's just kind of average and forgettable. But for the time that this came out, and a lot of movies like this were kind of getting made, it's not too bad if you want to just give it a once over. I had to pay like $2.99 on Amazon, so I don't know. Anyway, the next movie we are going to be doing for Sam Rockwell Month is a movie that I've really been looking forward to covering on the channel, and that is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, directed by George Clooney. And this is, to me, one of the best, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the story. I love Sam in this story. This just made, with this movie, it was like, I love Sam Rockwell. I had already really liked him, but Confessions is what made me love him. So anyway, that'll be up in the next couple of days. We've got a lot of stuff on the docket. I've got Doctor Who to do. I've got Too Old to Die Young to do. I've got The Terror. I've got all this stuff that's already ready to go. I just need to record it. So looking forward to making a whole bunch of content in the next couple of days, so look out for that. The Handmaid's Tale's newest video is up, and there's also a video about live stream discussions for The Handmaid's Tale. So if you're into The Handmaid's Tale, maybe check out that video and see if you want to be a part of it. Otherwise, if you liked this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Sorry I was a little tired, so if it's a little kind of rambly, I apologize. Otherwise, this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying we'll be back with more Sam Rockwell Month in just a couple of days. Bye.